Hi, this is Daniel. Welcome to my channel. Today we are gonna talk about this flooring, this wood flooring texture. It's part of the series that I've made recently. I already covered the planks pattern. Here you have the planks pattern combined with the wood texture. So we are just gonna focus on this wood texture. As you can see, we have the different frames, different sections for the texture. Then we have the colors, but the colors will be part of another video. So let's talk about our base texture. And first, let's have a look at the result. Okay. Now let's focus on the beginning. This is a wood fibers 2 combined in a blend node, multiply blending mode, combined with this thing here. It's a warp, and I just wrapped a crystal 2 with a Perlin noise zoom. You blend this with our wood fibers 2. And this is what we get. Then another blend node, soft light, and this time I used the wood fibers 1. Some levels to, always try to get something quite homogeneous. It's very important when you do a tiling texture. And just to remember what this texture can do when it's tiled, we're gonna do it now. Just a tile by 2, a factor of 2. All right. So I used a directional warp based on a Perlin noise zoom and sent it to a blend node. I blended this thing here with our warp. The basis is a vertical noise. You have a slope blur grayscale here based on black and white spots 1. So that gives us that. A small directional warp based on a Perlin noise zoom. I just scaled it down and blended it with what we had before. So it gives a better variety to it. And then it's the goal is to make our some wood knots, as you can see here. It was very simple. It's just a directional warp with a Pelin noise zoom. Shoop. And you already have something interesting. This is a nice knot here, another one here. We blend this node with our noise. And this is subtle, but we can see the progress. So let's have a look at our knots and deformations. I started with a Pelin noise zoom. I wish I could see the miniatures, but everything is blank almost. Then I used a slope blur grayscale based on this one that we saw earlier. Levels node to isolate islands. I just deformed them. Expanded them with the levels node and used a wrap node. The gradient input is the same node, so it's wrapped on itself, and it gives a very interesting result. It's rich, it's complex, and it's very simple to do. Of course, I used a blur HQ grayscale to make it softer. And this is only a mask. That I used, as you can see, that I used to incorporate, to put at some places the knots. In fact, I used this to pre-deform the wood where the knots are. Up. So that's just not a knot here on the wood, on a very vertical wood. The knots are placed within wood deformation. We see it clearly here. Okay, then we have what I call termites. It's just some parts of the wood that are eaten away by maybe by termites, or it can be other small animals. Once again, this is quite easy to do. I started with a vertical noise and used a slope blur grayscale with a clouds 1. A transformation 2D node to squash it a bit. And a huge use of the levels node. some directional warp. A simple warp node based on Perlin noise zoom. And we have it. We have some parts of the wood that are, we can imagine they are just eaten away. So I think I used here a subtract blending mode. Yes. I'll try to find an example, visual example of this effect here on the wood. So I think this is it. It's very subtle. We can barely see the result here. The first plank. Yes, it's here on the first plank. It's barely visible. Okay, so that's it for the termites. We have another wood pattern here, a very, very important one in my opinion. This effect here. We can see this type of rings in many different wood types. Once again, once you know the trick, the technique, it's pretty easy to accomplish. So you need a gradient dynamic to do that, fed by a Perlin noise, for example, and a gradient linear 1. You can set it up this way. And here's the result. Of course, it's too CGI, too clean. So we need to use a bit of a directional warp and a slope block grayscale. But I think it's not enough. I must have add a fractal sum 1 to give it a more of a vegetal vibe and a huge effect based on the transformation 2D. Stretch it down quite a lot. And finally, another slope blur grayscale to really drive the effect home. Quite happy with the result. It feels organic enough. Okay, let's see where we are now. I used an overlay. Okay, what next? Some micro holes and stains. These are stains and the very small holes. I think we can call that mini holes and not micro. It's important to affect the surface in some ways. So I'm not gonna cover them in depth. As you can see, it's pretty easy. Okay, then we have small cracks like this. They are not cracks actually, they are more like other types of holes, I think. It's mostly some a superficial part of the wood that is just peeled off. I don't know. So I started with I used a grunge map. I don't usually use them quite often, but they are useful in some ways. So sometimes you can use them. Okay, and finally some scratches and dots that I've made. As you can see here. You can see the scratches in the wood here. I like that. It can happen on the floor. I also add this kind of effect. Okay. It gives a better definition, a better material definition to the knots, I think. It's always important to bring scratches, cracks in the wood. So this is done with simple cells 3. 2 cells 3 node that are blended together with a multiply to give more complexity. Small deformation. Slope blur grayscale. Small blur applied here. And the scratches are made with the Scratches 1 generator. And you blend them with a multiply blending mode. You blend them with fractal sum 1. Small wrap. You invert it. and you have the scratches. I use the min darken to blend the base texture with the scratches. Okay, so that's it then for this first wood texture on my channel. In another video, we'll talk about the colors for this one. Wasn't an easy process, so I think we can talk about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon for the color pass. Bye bye.